With every puff, snort, sniff, or injection, a substance abuser is dragged deeper down the path of addiction, and abandoning this unhealthy habit is tough. A habit that is not only expensive to keep up with, but with adverse health effects such as mental disorder, unconsciousness, addiction, death, and others. Despite all of this, more youth continue to indulge. A recent statistics from the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency revealed that about 14.3 million Nigerians abuse drugs. The agency says the affected Nigerian fall within the age bracket of 15 to 64 years, including women. Perhaps this disturbing trend is the reason in 2022 the chairman of the NDLEA, Brigadier General Buba Marwa retired, launched an anti-drug abuse initiative called Drug-Free University Campaign. As part of the action to tackle the scourge, he proposed the introduction of a drug integrity test for both new and returning university students. The drug integrity test is then supposed to evolve into an anti-drug policy for higher institutions of learning in Nigeria.
The main objectives of the WIDA Club includes the following: to prevent the use and sale of illicit drugs in schools and institutions, to promote alternative activities to involvement in drugs.
On October 4, 2023, Vice Chancellor of the University of Abuja, Professor Abdulrasheed Nahala, announced that students who intend to study at the Abuja University must undertake and present a drug test before admission. He made it known at the 27th pre-convocation briefing in Abuja, saying that the institution is working with NDLEA to help students who are engaged in drug abuse and to rehabilitate them. AN24 went out to assess the compliance in some higher institutions. In the Nigerian Institute of Journalism, NIJ, Lagos State, some senior officials of the institution and students spoke on the drug test development to be introduced to schools.
Good development for students to undergo drug tests before gaining admission. I mean, prior to now, I know of the general medical test. I did that before I gained admissions, all right? But then, looking at how the society is and the various things we hear every day, I do not think that it's a stretch for that to be done in school. However, I also think that there should be ways to go about it, because if the student knows that they are going to undergo drug tests prior to them being given admission, I kind of feel like they're going to look for ways to go about it, that maybe if the person uses drugs, they will come out as negative and all of that. So bearing in mind that the intention is a good one.
Teenage substance abuse has been on the increase for some time now. A lot of teenagers now use drugs. We hear of different names. And peer pressure has also influenced a lot of them. Doing tests for them is very important, because it is important to save them, to help them. If we don't test them and we admit them, when they come in, they will corrupt other people. When we test and we know that this one has an issue, we quickly help that person. There are different ways, but it is important to help stop the scourge so that they won't infect other people.
My take on tests for students is a good idea and a good development, because their aim is not to punish the victim, rather to prevent and treat them. So now my question is this: how confidential will it be if the students are tested positive? In as much to avoid stigmatization, how confidential will it be? And also, when they are back from the rehab center, will they be allowed to start their studies from where they stopped? Thank you.
A senior lecturer of the institution, Maureen Pukbola, said Nigerian schools need the drug test, but added that there is a need to be ahead of the student who often make use of illicit substances.
I believe it's a welcome development if our children undergo drug tests before being admitted. In fact, it's a really worrisome development to this world that despite all the good intentions of parents to give their children good education, do the best for them, our children are just bent on what? Self-destruction. It's so bad that even at secondary school level, many of them are involved in different types of drugs. So I think it will be a good thing in the sense that if students know that they will be tested for drugs and if they are found wanting, they will not be admitted. That may act as a caution to them to shun drugs. But then again, students are becoming very wise.
Patricia Kalesonwo said it is really a welcome development because children of these days are bent on self-destruction. For instance, if a student knows she will be tested before gaining admission, and if he or she is found wanting, they will not be admitted. They might tend to manipulate the result. Glory Johnson as well spoke about the development, saying it's a good one, but the confidentiality, is it guaranteed, and won't there be any form of stigmatization, especially when the student is back from rehabilitation center? Temitayo Peters reporting for AN24 TV.